Now that Doug is considered California cool, we're all moving to Texas.
And one guy, of course, in the group says, well, the only problem is that the heater core that's in the car actually acts as a second radiator and will help decrease the water temperature by about 20 degrees. So don't be surprised if your car, if your engine runs a little bit hotter. I'm like, holy fuck, people actually know this shit. It's like, how do you know that? How do you fucking know that?
Don't drive angry. Well, it's hard not to when you're listening to the nice guys on business. 3 days a week, they're able to hold it together. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. Adults need not apply. No interviews, lots of ranting, and they sometimes stumble onto something useful. Go figure. Now it's time for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery themselves, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Recording in progress. Recording. What's the word? So no, yes, I have pretty much everything I need is on the cloud, as it were, in OneDrive.
What is the cloud exactly, Strickland? What is the cloud? Can someone explain it to me? Because I have no idea. All I know is the cloud. Why do I spend money I have to spend $10 a month from Google to be on the cloud because I have so much storage that they charge me more than they give you like 30 gigs, but I'm like 30 gigs. That's like
nothing,
that's like 3 of me and JJ making a good home movie. It's like, that's not a lot. So then Apple connects with me and says, hey, if you want to store all your photos, and I have like 11,000 photos on my phone. So if you want to store your photos, you gotta have the upgraded version. So I spend $10 with them. So for $20 a month, I'm renting a space. I have no idea. I've never visited it. I don't have a key to it. I don't know what it looks. I don't know who the landlord is. I don't even know. Are there any other utilities that are included in that? Do I get cable included or anything? None of that.
How much?
$20 a month.
How much storage do you get for $20 a month with Apple?
About $20 worth.
About $20.
I don't know. I don't even know. Like, if I have something that's been on there for a long time, does it stay on there permanently? I don't even know where the stuff is.
Well, because I know with Google, when I was running out of space on the Google Drive, they were like, hey, do you want to buy more space? You can do it for $1.99 a month for 100 gig or something. And I'm like, shit, that's fucking cheap.
Well, why do I spend $10 a month?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Cause like, I think I have one Google thing that has like a terabyte or some shit, but it's like $9 a month for a terabyte.
I know what it is. I figured it out. I got the undercoating. I got the
floor mats, the extended warranty and the floor mats.
And I got the cigarette lighter. I got the intermittent wipers.
That'll do it every damn time.
Oh, God.
The intermittent wipers, they'll kill you every damn time.
God damn it. They saw me coming. I knew once I got finished with sales and I went over to financing, I knew it was all over from there.
Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner on the other side of the microphone, and back from Greece, Mr. Doug Sandler, still alive to talk about it.
I did enjoy listening to the episode with you and Jared. I did feel like I was missing out a little bit. There was a couple of times when I wanted to add my comments and I really didn't know where to. I was trying to find the cloud from Greece. It's much further from Greece. I'm not sure. We only bought economy seats, so I'm sure it was a lot further to get to the cloud from Greece than if we bought like business class. I don't know. Now, how come the cloud doesn't follow you? Like when you get on an airplane, why can't I watch movies on the cloud? Why can't I do shouldn't I be able to like just be on the cloud? Am I just there?
Yeah, you would think. That's the weird thing with movies too, where I know it's like, hey, I've got a movie that I saved and it's owned. But then if you actually don't have connection to the internet, it's like, oh, sure, you can watch anytime you want, as long as you're connected to the internet, but not right now. You didn't download it to your device.
You know what it is? It's like there's a guy standing on the corner and he's like, hey, you want to try this internet? It's like, what is that called? Just give me a little bump. I just get a little bump.
First month is free, baby. Come on. Try it out. I know you'll like it.
I get a little bump from the internet, and all of a sudden I'm addicted to the fucking internet. I don't even know where the internet is.
Truth. Very, very fucking true.
I don't even know that there is an internet. I mean, it's the internet is like God. It's there. Somebody tells me it's there. I guess I believe them.
What happens if somebody pulls the plug, like on the internet? Like,
I don't even know where the plug is. And is the internet is it run on electricity? Is it run on like wind, solar? I mean, do you plug your internet into your Tesla at the end of the day? I mean, I need answers. I'm so confused. I came here not having one subject, and all of a sudden I got too many things I want to talk about now.
Hey, Marcel, if you're listening and you know the answer to these questions, please just give us a voicemail call at 4242 DJ Doug and let us know the answers to all these internet questions.
Well, you know it's easy if you're going to ask Marcel. The answer is quite simple. The internet is run on margarita and sour mix. So I really do think that the internet is run on whatever you think that it is. I really do. I don't really know that there is an internet, but void an internet, I think we would be totally up Schitt's Creek.
Well, we would now. We've become so dependent on it. Sure.
Well, how do you know we're depending on it? You don't even know where it is. Like what in your house either has access to or is run on the internet? Is it just the computers or is it everything?
Everything except like my pencil, basically. I think it's
I think so too.
Dependent on the internet for updates and upgrades. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I don't really understand where the internet is, how it works. Is the internet related to the cloud or is it the same people? I had no idea. I don't know where. All I know is when I order something from Amazon, it comes. Now I'm assuming the internet is involved in there at some point. And I assume that some portion of what I pay goes to the internet people. I don't know what I don't know who these people are. If they came knocking on my door saying, "Hey, you didn't pay for internet," I would say, "Well, yeah, I did. I paid Spectrum." But they'd said, "Oh, well, no, there's an excise tax or something for the internet." When I fill up my card, does a part of my taxes go to the internet?
Who the hell knows? I don't think anybody really knows, but I don't think we want to know either. So
my big question is, in my absence, did you miss me? It sounded like you did.
Oh, terribly. I always miss you when you're gone, Doug. Always, always, always. You know, I'm getting calls for like some guy says, "Hey, I want to talk about production." And I'm like, I don't know how to fucking sell shit. Doug does that. He just tells me whatever he sold. And then I just go ahead and make sure I deliver it.
Yeah. And you know what was so great about that is the guy, when it came to the appointment, which was this week, he actually postponed the appointment. He was waiting for me to come. I don't know if that happened arbitrarily or if you maybe kind of coughed in his direction and he got a little scared that he was going to get some sort of COVID from you or what.
No, it was perfect. Like an hour before the meeting, he's like, "Hey, can we postpone?" And I'm like, "Yes, Doug will be back. Yes, that would be perfect." That would be great.
So he rescheduled, but didn't reschedule until like October. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, really?
That's fine.
That's
We're busy. We're busy right now. We got a bunch of shows that we're producing right now. I'm assuming we're doing everything okay because I haven't heard any complaints.
Yeah, you reached out to me today about a client and you were like, "Hey, did they end up buying the package?" And I literally, and this is a client that we've only had 3 weeks, maybe, right?
Yeah, about
and
that.
It was one that was a little bit of a complicated setup because they had some stuff recorded already and they had a show up already, but it was sort of, we're white labeling it. And even with all of that information and only 3 weeks ago, I still had to look it up to figure out who they were.
I always think when I send you a message about a specific client that I don't know, I'm always thinking, he doesn't know either.
No, I had to look.
But the problem is this: I don't even know where to look. I don't even know where to go. I don't know where to go. Do we have like a client list, or you know what? I don't. It's probably on a spreadsheet, and I don't want it.
No,
I don't
want
just
keep selling. You don't need to worry about it.
As long as you know where everything is. Isn't it amazing? You know, we've been podcasting for almost 7 years now, 1,200 plus episodes. We've had Turnkey for probably 5 of those 7 years or somewhere around that. We started with the concept. We've literally put 200 shows plus into the Podcastville land. I couldn't tell you 5 of our clients right now. And not because I don't love them. I do, but I don't know. I don't even really listen to podcasts. Do you listen to podcasts?
Listen to some, but not a handful. I listen to a handful on a regular basis.
And I know you probably listen to Bucky Rants, which is one of the shows. If I am going to listen, I do listen to that podcast. It's really good. But I don't even listen to our podcast.
So I don't listen to Bucky Rants, but that's only because I edit it. It's the only show that I still edit. And so I listen to it while I'm editing it. It's very entertaining.
So let me guess about your shows on your list. So it's probably none of our clients, although you love our clients as much as I do. If we can figure out who they are, it's probably. Are you still listening to Savage Love or whatever Savage?
Yeah,
Love
Dan
cast?
Savage Lovecast. Yeah, that's very regular. I listen to that all the time.
Any other shows that you listen to on a regular basis?
I listen to 500 by Midnight, which is my Las Vegas touristy podcast. I've got a few others that I've been listening to like on and off. I'll listen to it for a couple of weeks and then drop it. No, nothing long-term regular really. No.
All right. Let me see on my, I definitely listen to The Daily, and I that's just a daily business show put on by the New York Times. I listened to another show, which is really cool. It's called The Hidden Brain. And they just deal with some really interesting topics. I also listen every once in a while. I do listen to Terry Marco's show called Critically Speaking. I don't know if you've listened to that ever, but she has some really off the wall subjects that I really enjoy listening to. Of course, I listen to my Mustang podcast. When Serial has a new series, I listen to that. But I don't. I really just don't. It's not that I don't like. I mean, I like all of our clients. I just, enough. Enough.
Well, a lot of the material is not stuff I'm interested in. Like Stan, the annuity man, is talking about fun with annuities, right? It's very good material. I'm just not interested in it. Not my thing.
Right. But Bucky Rants, on the other side of it, that's a message I can totally get into. And I don't know if I like it because of the controversy, because I don't even necessarily know the subject matter that he's talking about. Sometimes he mentions these people that he rants about. I don't even know who the people are, but I just love the way that he rants about them.
And it's kind of crazy when you think about the variety of clients that we have, because we get a guy like Stan Haithcock, who is Stan the annuity man, and like super Mr. Conservative and businessman. And like, he's entertaining, right? But I mean, he's like just talking straight up about stuff. Yep. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have a guy like Bucky Haight, who is just way off the edge. I mean, that dude is, he's out there. It's entertaining, but
totally agree. And I would not say that there's any cross section of subject matter that we are more inclined to take as a client. It's more the business structure than the subject matter. So we don't care about the content. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's not that we don't care about the content, but we care more about the type of client that is coming to us. And that's, here's some business advice. And I know you got to this with Jared, and I was thinking, oh shit, he's going to offer some business advice here. And, but it got good with you and Jared. So the business advice is, I don't know, what was my business advice?
I don't know where you were going with that.
I don't know what it was. Oh, it doesn't matter what your clients do, as long as they can match like the personality and the style of the type of people that you want on your client list. I mean, every one of our clients right now, I really think they're good. It's a good fit for us. In the beginning, we talk about this all the time. Early on, we were talking about this. Like, we had some clients that we took because their check would cash. It's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore.
And we have since fired some of them, which I think was a good thing.
We have since fired many of them. I think all of them. Either they fired us or we fired them. Either way, it doesn't matter. We got even.
Doesn't matter. Long as we're not dealing with them anymore. It's all good.
So Greece was great. The Greek islands are crazy, man. I mean, just completely just this crystal clear blue clear water that just is just fit, big fish just kind of hanging out by your feet and just relaxing. The problem was with and I think you nailed it when I left, is like the flight. I mean, the flight's a 14-hour flight.
14 goddamn hours on one plane.
Yeah. Once you get past like that fourth or fifth hour, it's not hard, but it's just and then especially if you're doing like the overnight, for me, I can't sleep on a plane. So you get there and you're completely wrecked. It's like, I just need to put my head down. I just need to go down for a nap.
Yeah. I can sleep some on planes, but I've gotten so spoiled because I'm living in Austin now. Right. So
you're in the middle of everything.
I know, it's 3 hours to Vegas, 3 hours to Baltimore. Right. It used to be 5.5 hours from Baltimore to Vegas. I'm like, that was kind of annoying. It's not 14 hours to Greece, but it's,
Well, and the only issue would be, if I was flying from the East Coast, it would be a 7-hour flight. So no big deal. If you're flying from the West Coast, though, you're adding another 6+ hours onto the flight. Coming back, I was watching the flight path. I thought, oh, we would just come over the Atlantic, over the United States, and into California. Actually, they go up over almost to the Arctic, and they go Iceland, and then down through northern Canada, through I think Newfoundland, and a whole bunch of places. So most of the trip, you're either over Canada or just Iceland. I don't even know all the places that are there, but yeah, we had a great time. It was 10 days of just chilling, hanging out, and eating a lot, drinking a lot. We met some friends of JJ's that are there that have become friends of mine, and we had a really good time with them for 5 days of the trip. We went to this place called Paros, not Paris, but Paros, Paros, I think. And it's one of the Greek islands, the one lesser known Greek Isles. And then we went to Santorini, and then to Athens, and just had a blast. A lot of eating, a lot of drinking, and a lot of just chilling out. I'll tell you one thing I didn't do. I didn't do email. I didn't do anything. I'm hoping nobody needed me, because Ashley took care of it all. So
yep, we got you covered. It's all good, man. It's all
good. I know it. So I think we have a couple of voicemails. I think according to Jared's appearance with you, one of the voicemails, I think he wanted you guys to play when you were doing the show with him, but I guess that didn't make its way through. So now we have 2 voicemails in there. I know at least one of them is going to be from Jared. I have no idea who the other one's from. So we can take a listen to both of them.
Okay, here we go. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Boom. Love that.
Love that end part.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Strick. Hey, Jared. Jared here. So I'm hoping that we listen to this voicemail during our show where I'm there with you, Strick.
Oops.
You and Doug right now are just now talking about the voicemails and being stale and having a funk. And, man, if I remember the voicemail messages I left, oh, boy, are they going to have some funk. And I hope to God that Doug listens to the episode. Anyways, guys, love the show. I'm so excited to talk with you, Strick, and myself. Oh, I can't wait to the rest of today's episode. Who knows? Maybe you'll get some more voicemail. Maybe not. See you guys.
He's so excited to talk to himself. Now, that was a very good episode last week. And for those of you who were not paying attention, just go back to last Friday's episode, which was Jared takes over because Doug was in Greece. And it was pretty entertaining. I liked it. Definitely a little bit of a change of pace there.
I'm pretty sure it's on the internet. I don't know where to find it because it's in the cloud. So let's see the beginning of this episode if you have no idea what I'm talking about.
All right. Let's see if the other voicemail is also from Jared.
Hey, Strick. Jared here.
Of course it is.
I'm listening to the episode with me and Strick. Nice job, Strick, by the way. I'm not all the way through, but I wanted to call in because I fucked up. So to all you nice guys listeners, it's upyouravagepodcast.com. I was so excited to be talking to Strick, I left out the word podcast for the website. So you can still search for Up Your Average in your podcast player, but it's upyouravagepodcast.com to go listen at the website and get the link where you can subscribe and all that fun stuff. Anyways, guys, love the show, love the audience, and thanks again for having me on. It was an honor. Talk with you guys soon.
That's right. So if you want to go listen to a real podcast, go to upyouravagepodcast.com and you can hear Jared talk about interesting stuff instead of Doug and I just shooting the shit.
So if I notice things, and thank you, Jared, for sitting in for me. You did a yeoman's job. You did an excellent job. I really appreciate you sitting in. You obviously can hold a better business conversation than I can, because I just saw, like, all I saw in my brain was Strickland's eyes glazing over and him hearing Charlie Brown's teacher wah 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 wah. But I kept up with you. So maybe when Strickland goes out of town, do you ever go out of town, Strickland, are you ever unreachable? Because you very rarely go anywhere, except right now you're back in Vegas again, it looks like.
I am back in Vegas. I'm traveling back and forth. I'm spending a lot of time in Vegas, but I'm not abandoning Turnkey or you when I'm doing that. I'm around. I'm here. So,
Were you saying that I was abandoning Turnkey? Maybe did I read into that? Did I read into that properly?
Yeah, you picked up on that a little slow, but yeah, that was basically what I was hinting at, but it's all good. I'm just kidding.
My heart is in the right place, and you know that. And come on, for just so I can argue the point here for just a second, I do all of the other episodes that you don't do too.
True. Very good point. All of the damn interview episodes that
but I do use them as sales opportunities. So I kind of am helping my own self out by I make my job easier by actually double dipping. I'm actually doing interviews at the same time as using them as prospects. If you don't know any idea, if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're listening to this, it's okay. You're not invited onto the show and you don't need to know. And if we need to tell you anything, mommy and daddy will let you know.
In fact, you just recently had a guest who turned into a client.
I did, but I cannot remember who that was. I swear to God.
Oh, it was the Scottish guy. Is it Scottish? I can't remember.
Oh, yes, Dave. Yes.
Yeah, Dave McCune. Yeah.
The funny part about when I have a guest to client, first of all, it starts out really, I mean, for me and the guest also, it starts out really innocently because I forget actually what I'm doing. I forget that I'm actually supposed to be listening with that ear of, hey, maybe something they say could lead me down a path that they could become a client. So I actually start to build a relationship with this person. Stupid me, because I actually like people, So I'm building a relationship with Dave as we're chatting and he's on the show, and I'm asking him questions about his podcast, and he's giving me like all of the buying signals, and I'm missing them on like they're passing by me faster than oh man, I was going to make an Empire Strikes Back reference, but how would they be passing by me? Like, what would be the battle? Like,
I thought you were thinking like the bullet train. You were thinking like you were over in Europe, right? So
we'll go that way. Faster than bullets can pass. Whatever. Anyway. So I'm having a conversation with him, and at the end of the conversation, he's giving me all the buying signals, and of course, I'm not picking up on it. And by the time the interview is almost over, and I begin to talk to him about podcasting, and we set up a follow-up call. I'm like, what the fuck? Where was I during this interview? I missed basically, and I'm listening back to the interview. I'm missing every clue that he is possibly giving to me. So in the follow-up call, when he's asking me about like strategy, and I'm talking about the guest to client strategy, and I was like, well, I guess, I mean, indirectly, I was doing it to you on the day that you were on my show, but I don't even think about it. It comes so like second nature to me right now. So I do get a chance to double dip. I do these great interviews, and at the same time, I'm able to put people onto our client list as well. So it's dumb luck, I guess.
So what are you doing since you gotten back?
Well, so I've discovered a couple of issues that I'm having with my Mustang.
That's not good.
Yeah. So issue number one, it has an overheating problem. When it overheats, it doesn't start up again really easily. So I was trying to work through one of the problems. And when I was working through that problem, I discovered another problem that I have. And all of a sudden I had antifreeze leaking into the interior of my car because my heater core went up on me. So I was dealing with both of these issues all at once and trying to work on a plan because my car is rented out on Saturday. So I'm trying to figure out how do I get it into at least, rubber band and paper clip it together so it will work on Saturday just to get to the photo shoot. So I think that I've done the workaround pretty good. I've gotten some warnings from some of the people in the group like, hey, that may not be the best idea. But other people are like, that's exactly what I would do these cars are so simple, but it's still a car, and it's still something it's like, could you imagine opening up a hood of a car and saying, okay, let me just blah, 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 and fixing it?
Dude, you and Jared might think that shit is simple, but I'm sorry. Fucking internal combustion engines are complicated as fuck.
No. I'm with you. I agree with you. I mean, I think when I go to fix the issue, it's like, I'm like looking at every YouTube video. Unfortunately, I have a Facebook group because of my my Mustang podcast. I have a Facebook group, and the Facebook group has about 850 people, which means it has about 850 opinions that I get from everybody. So I'm like, hey, my heater core went up in my car. Is there a workaround for this so that I can get the antifreeze to stop leaking through the car into the car? So there is a simple fix to it, but it's a simple fix to somebody that's done it like 10 times.
Right,
a simple fix is like, I don't even know where the hood latch is. You know, it's like shit. It took me 5 minutes to open up the car. They opened up the hood the first time I did it because there's this. Remember the cars they used to have after you like pull the thing that's in the car?
Latch.
The safety latch.
Secondary safety latch. Yeah.
I didn't even know where the safety latch was on my car. It took me like 3 months to figure that out.
Yeah, when I look at like car mechanical stuff and it's like, all right, this one's an easy fix. First thing you do is you take the engine apart and then it's like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
So to take the heater core out, you basically have to dismantle almost the entire dash on my car. And I'm like, these aren't, when I have my microphone broken or podcasting, it's a USB plug and play. It goes right into the microphone and the other end goes right into the computer, plug and play. Nothing on a 1965 car is plug and play because they know that no one is ever going to get under the hood. They want you to bring the car back to the dealership. Now, fortunately for me, most of the dealers that were around when the car was born most of them are dead. Let's just face it. Most of the mechanics that worked on these cars, they have no idea. Mm-hmm. There's one mechanic in my car that works on in my town that works on cars that are earlier than 1970 something. So there's one game in town. And so for me, it's like, I didn't buy the car to take it to a mechanic. I bought the car so that if I do have an issue, I'm going to fix the issue. Yes, the car might sit a month, but okay, so it sits a month. I have my Highlander, but nobody rents my Highlander. They rent my Mustang. So It's just happened to be that I have a rental this Saturday that I gotta fix it for.
Did you ever see Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you saw that movie.
Yeah, great movie.
My God, that was so good. Christian Bale and
all the other
Matthew,
guys.
What's his name? No,
Matt Dillon. Matt, no. Who
what the hell is the guy's name?
I don't know.
Ben's Matt and Ben. What the hell?
Matt,
damn.
I don't know. I know
from Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Thank you.
From Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
That was a really good. I'm not a car guy, but that was such a good movie. They were really good together. I liked it a lot.
I agree. Here, I just want to show you. I know this is going to play really well on audio.
Audio.
But hold on a second. I'll show you. Let me see if I can get the picture big.
GT4 speed.
Okay, so here, can you see the picture of the engine that I have in front of me right now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is my engine. Oops, hold on. Let me pull back a little bit.
It's very blue. It's very pretty.
Very blue. So see this hose that goes all the way from the timing. This is the water pump right here. So see the little arrow that I have in this long hose that goes all the way to under the engine and then past that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you see this other hose that comes back from the engine and into the other side. So in between the hose that leaves the engine, the water pump and the one that comes back into the engine, it goes into the underside of the passenger part of the car, which is where the heating core is.
Okay.
Now the heater core went up. So what I had to do was I had to cut this cable. And so this is what it looks like now. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
So the heater core is inside the car, like under the seats?
I think that's where it is even on new cars now.
Weird.
But the heater core is under the passenger side of his best friend's ride.
That's just me.
Wait, I got it. Isn't that a Destiny's Child song?
Yeah,
or something?
Yeah. No Scrubs, of course. Yeah.
Right. Okay. No Scrubs. Right. So all right. So here's what it has become. So here's where it was before. And now I cut.
You basically bypass the whole heater core.
Right. Exactly. So it goes from the water pump back into the engine again. So my question was, can I actually do that? Is that actually a repair that would work without like causing damage to the engine or anything? And everybody's like, yeah, that'll be really good. That's a great way to do it. And one guy, of course, in the group says, well, the only problem is that the heater core that's in the car actually acts as a second radiator and will help decrease the water temperature by about 20 degrees. So don't be surprised if if your engine runs a little bit hotter. I'm like, holy fuck, people actually know this shit. It's like, how do you know that? do you fucking know that?
So the heater core is for like heating up the interior of the car?
Right. So what happens is the water leaves the water pump, goes through this long hose, goes into the passenger side of my best friend's ride, right into the heater core. When I turn on it, which is like a small radiator, collects all of that hot water that's coming out of the heater pump. When you flip up the switch, the fan blows over that heated heater core and into the passenger compartment of the vehicle, which causes the heat. If you take that component out of the cycle, you're shortening the length that water has to cool, thereby increasing the temperature. And I would have no fucking clue of any of this had it not been for all of the people in the group that are like giving me advice. It's really cool. It's like saying to somebody, I mean, I don't know. Do you ever have any questions about your Tesla and just need to ask somebody a question about your Tesla?
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of like Facebook groups about that. There's one where I have a windshield washer fluid hose, right?
Yeah.
It goes right into the windshield wiper, right? So both windshield wipers, the fluid just comes out of the windshield wipers, but it was only coming out of one windshield wiper. And like I had it in the shop for replacing something. And I said, hey, can you check on this? And they're like, oh yeah, we can do that. It'll be $99. And I look it up on one of these boards and they're like, oh yeah, the hose just came loose. All you got to do is reach in here and take this out and plug it back in. I'm like, I'm not paying somebody fucking dealer $100 to do that. I can do that.
Have you done it yet though?
No, I have not actually done it, but I know I can if I want to at some point.
So the thing is with this, it's like, how bad could I fuck up? I mean, seriously, the repair that I did right before this one, the one where I discovered that the heater core was actually broken, which it happened to be at the same time. So I thought I created the problem, the heater core. The problem was that the fuel filter needed to be replaced, and the fuel filter is under the car by the oil filter, and I couldn't unscrew it. So I thought I was going to break it, and there's like gas in there. And if you break that thing, I'm like, you never want to. Your engine is very close to where the fuel filter is. Heat and gasoline really can create a problem called fire, So I'm thinking, okay, did I create this problem? Can I fix the problem myself? All of the things and this is going to be a great subject because I will absolutely talk about this on my Mustang podcast. But some people are so afraid to get their hands into the project that they just never do. They always take it to the shop. Like, I said to JJ, she came out into the garage. I was working on the car. She's like, well, what are you doing? I said, I said, the heater core is broken. She says, well, why don't you take it to the shop? I said, well, that wasn't the purpose of buying this car, that when it breaks, I don't want to just take it to the shop. And if it's like the brakes or something that I can't, or the gas, I don't even know what repair would need to be made that I couldn't do this on my own because they're pretty simple. But at the same time, it's like, why not try it? Isn't this my opportunity to fuck up on something like the 65 Mustang? And if it doesn't start, I guess I didn't make the repair properly.
Right. Yep. I'm with you.
So anyway, it's good to be back. It feels good to be home again. I don't know if we have any other subjects that we want to talk about, or if you want to end it here on a positive, uplifted note, or why don't you tell me before we go, like what's going on in Vegas right now?
Nothing right now, just coming out here to visit. I'm going to Lauren's dad's for dinner tonight. Like as soon as we wrap up, we're heading over there. But nothing special really, just hanging out.
All right. Well, you're doing your thing and you're doing it well. Well, I appreciate you being in Vegas, and thank you again for doing all you do so much shit for the show. I love, and for the business, I just love knowing that when I go away, like I don't have to think about it. When you go away, I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's like, fortunately we have Jimmy and Marjorie and Ashley saved my ass probably many times while I was out of town, but I don't know what to do when you go out of town. Do I just stand here and just wait for something to happen, or?
Yeah, you just keep selling. You just keep selling.
Oh, don't worry about anything is what you're saying to me.
Yeah, exactly. We want we're going to turn Turnkey into the factory of the future, which is run by a man and a dog. The man is there to feed the dog. The dog is there to make sure the man doesn't touch anything.
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good deal. I have no problem standing there making sure the dog does not making sure that I feed the dog. That's all I need to do, right? That's all I need to do.
Exactly.
Feed the dog. I will feed the dog. All right, let's head out of here. Until next week, then. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. You know, I've done opens and closes for these bozos for 400 plus episodes. I've moved, I've had plastic surgery, I keep renewing the restraining order, but nothing has worked. They keep on finding me. No, I got another 1,000 episodes in me. I'm not going anywhere. Hey, sorry the show's running a little long. We had to take a few avocado toast breaks for Doug.